This episode is brought to you by Lurk Royalty, a Twitch gaming team that puts out Call of Duty content, Rocket League content, and any epic esports matchups you can think of. If you want to check them out, go over to twitch.tv. The three team members are Creeper KC, you got Brazzy TTV, and Reckless_X. Go check them out over on twitch.tv.
And now, the Delirious Dads Gaming Podcast.
With your host, Clinton,
Hunter,
and Ryan,
as we bring you the latest in gaming news, reviews, and the newest updates on national and local esports events.
along with great recipes for you good-looking dads.
gadgets and gifts for gaming, gags, and great deals.
And we're raising the heat as we go into gaming competition in the Delirious Dome. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, buenas noches. Welcome to episode 116.
116.
Yeah, buddy.
We made it.
It's a little weird not having Ryan here tonight because obviously I didn't get interrupted right there. So
Yeah.
I appreciate the respect, Hunter, you know?
Yeah, I just don't even think about disrespecting you, bro.
Yeah, well, guys, we're sorry about last week. We didn't roll anything because guess what, guys? We were working on some segment stuff. We're trying to get everything ready so we can start bringing you more than just gaming news because we said when we launched back up, hey, we're going to have some stuff. Well, we're working on getting said stuff done so you guys can enjoy some other aspects of Delirious Dads Gaming, not just gaming news. But today, guess what? You're getting more gaming news. There's not a lot out there, guys. Not really sure why this past week is just kind of, I mean, there's some good things, so it's not totally dead, but wasn't a lot of like game-changing news, or any big announcements. But anyway, we're gonna go in to the gaming news segment, Leaks for Geeks, and check that out. Hunter, you ready for this?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's get into it.
Let's get it.
Leaks for Geeks. And it's time, guys, for the leaks for the geeks, the news for the dudes.
Right. You're talking about how there's not a lot this week, but it's kind of hard to top. Last time we talked about the PlayStation Showcase, at least for me, being biased, right?
Right.
And then getting to see that juicy God of War content wasn't last week, it was the week before, but
Right.
man, it's hard to top that for me. So,
Really is, yeah. Oh man, that was good, and I was actually really pumped. Like I'm ready to sink my teeth into that. So,
I will say.
Oh,
sorry. I said I will say I was just kind of dabbling. Every once in a while, I get on dabble on the PlayStation Store just to see what they got on there. And I did see you can pre-order a Demon Slayer video game.
Oh.
Did not know they were making. I think we may have talked about it or just mentioned it in passing, or somebody told me. But when I saw it, I freaked out and I thought, "Oh my god, they're making a game!"
Right. You forgot.
And I had forgot, yeah. And so. It is pre-order right now for $50. I'll probably wait until it comes out because it doesn't show a lot of what you get to do in that game. It looks like there's kind of like a side fighting type thing in the trailer I watched, but not a lot. It hasn't shown a lot more than that. So I don't want to pay $50 and get an unpolished,
Right.
So,
One thing we didn't, we talked about, we've talked about a lot of PlayStation things, Xbox things recently, not a lot of Nintendo stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I did find out, Hunter. I didn't know this, but now I do, and I'm kind of pumped about it. Kind of came out of nowhere. I don't know if we had mentioned it on the podcast or not, but it turns out there's a Super Mario Brothers animated movie being made. Did you know this?
I did not. That's interesting.
Yeah. And so about 6 days ago, around last week time, they announced the cast of this animated movie series. And this was interesting. So I was going to read off to you real quick the cast in this movie, okay?
Okay.
See what you think. Because I just happened to see this pop up. That's why I didn't mention it to you before the podcast, because I just seen it just now, reminded me, oh yeah, duh. I read this last week. Anyway, here it is. So the Super Mario's animated movie is set to release December 21, 2022, is what they're saying right now in North America. But the cast is going to be this. For your big lead role of Mario, Chris Pratt will be doing the voice
What?
of a Mario.
That's hilarious.
And this is the real deal. This is from, I'm getting this from the Hollywood Reporter, guys, so it's not like
Oh my gosh.
a rumor site, Joining Chris Pratt as Mario, you're also going to have Anya Taylor-Joy as Princess Peach, Charlie Day as Luigi, Jack Black as Bowser,
What?
Keegan Michael Key is going to be Toad, Seth Rogen is Donkey Kong.
No.
Yes. Fred Armisen as Cranky Kong, Kevin Michael Richardson as Kamek, and Sebastian Maniscalco as Spike. It says here the Super Mario's film hails from Nintendo and Illumination, with Universal distributing in North America and co-financing with Illumination. Its international rollout will be announced at a later date. The Video Giant shared last Thursday. So, what do you think?
That's wild. I'm just trying to picture Jack Black as Bowser. He's gonna be there. Long, long freaking time ago.
Yeah. This is
In the Mushroom Kingdom. Ooh.
crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Oh man.
Oh, dude, that's wild. I'm just like literally trying to picture, like, Jack Black's very characteristic. Like he can go one way or the other.
Yeah.
But as like all the Mario games I played and how Bowser kind of like holds himself and talks, it's just kind of weird to think about Jack Black covering that. That's weird to me.
Mario! I don't know. Like, I've never
Princess Peach is mine.
I've never thought of Bowser as a.
She'll marry the girl.
And then the most non-Italian guy you can pick for Mario. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with that, but yeah. So also, in other news, guys, it just continues to get better. Some of the old stars of the original Super Mario Brothers film back in the day chimed in, and one of those being John Leguizamo, who played Luigi. Says here that the edit is pinning to the mix. The actor is among many who are voicing their displeasure about the casting decisions, though he says he is glad the reboot is happening. The original Super Mario's actor did not shy away from giving his opinion, blah, blah, blah. Let's see here. Leguizamo blasted the movie on Twitter, criticizing the film's all-white casting that includes no Latins. It's Latinx.
Latinas.
It's spelled Latinx. Actors in lead roles. Let's see. So this is his official Twitter post. So glad hashtag Super Mario Bros. Is getting a reboot. Obviously, it's iconic enough. But too bad they went all white. No Latinos. I'm just going to say Latinos. In the leads. Groundbreaking colorblind casting in original. Plus, I'm the only one who knows how to make the movie work script-wise. So I don't know if he's trolling a little bit there.
Hold on 1 second. Is Mario Latino or like Italian?
He's Italian.
Yeah, so what is...
Yeah.
I don't know. That's going to throw me off. Maybe maybe we're just not cultured enough to understand what that means.
Yeah, I might be missing something there. I might be too white for that part. I don't know. I'm missing.
They should have just got
the point on that. But I do get his point. Like, hey, at least do an Italian actor for Mario is what I think. Right? They got Robert
De Niro playing Mario.
Hey,
come on, Luigi.
Yeah,
Luigi. We gotta save Princess Peach, Luigi. Yep. Come on.
Which castle is she in, huh? Which castle? Huh?
Which castle is it? Huh?
Oh, I'm excited though. I mean, hopefully it does well, but I'm with Leguizamo on this one. I do think, I don't know, like
just a wild cast.
I at least feel like Luigi and Mario could have been, not so white, but
like Bowser's a creature, right? Like he's just a creature. He's just, you could kind of cast him as whatever you wanted to and pick that. But you're right. I think like picking somebody with maybe an Italian heritage might have been best for those two.
Yeah.
Maybe Chris Pratt's got some Italian in him. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see how well he does the Italian voice. It makes me wonder if it's going to be like, is it? Because this is the thing with Mario. He's so iconic, right? Because even when in the early 90s, early 90s when they did the Mario movie, it was still Nintendo Mario, so he didn't have a lot of, it's a me, a Mario, there wasn't a lot of that. Like, I think they had the cartoon series and that was about it. So, I don't know.
Yeah, and in the original games, he didn't say anything. It was all mostly just sound cues and stuff.
Right. So, I don't know. I don't know what you do with a character that's that special.
Yeah.
It's almost like if Bugs Bunny was a superstar in games and then you made a movie with Bugs with a whole different spin, right? Like Mario's just a weird thing where he's always had that voice. So I don't know.
Anyway, what's that knack?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of an actor I could name to play Bugs Bunny that would just throw you off, but I can't in this spot.
Gerard Butler,
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up, Doc? I don't know. I can't do it, bro.
Doc?
Or Liam Neeson,
Yeah. There you go.
I want to know what you did with the carrot. If you don't bring it back, I'll kill you and your family.
Daffy, I have a certain set of skills.
We're butchering these accents. Okay. So continuing on with the spirit of Nintendo, guys. Nintendo Switch Online is getting some updates, and if you got a Switch, this sounds good. This is like a promising thing to me. Nintendo Switch Online will add a digital collections of Nintendo 64 and Sega Genesis games via a premium expansion pack coming in October. This was announced during the Nintendo Direct presentation. It says Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack will seemingly function like the digital libraries of other online services, i.e. probably like Steam, Epic Store, Origins, all that kind of stuff. So the main difference here is that these games will be behind an additional paywall, meaning existing Nintendo Switch Online subscribers will have to upgrade their plan to access these retro games. It will confirm the price point and exact release date of the expansion pack in the few weeks ahead. So let's get to the meat of the story here. We want to know what games are we getting for this price? So here it is, guys. Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack for your N64 games at launch are going to be the following: Super Mario 64, Mario Kart 64, Star Fox 64, Yoshi's Story, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, Winback, Mario Tennis, Dr. Mario 64, Sin and Punishment. Alright, so that's that. I'm a little bit sad that we don't see a GoldenEye listed on there, but okay.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that's a licensing thing, you know what I mean?
Maybe. Man, that...
But that's still pretty good lineup though. I'll take that.
Oh, absolutely.
Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack for your Sega Genesis games at launch will be the following. Castlevania Bloodlines, Contra Hard Corps, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, Echo the Dolphin, Golden Axe, Gunstar Heroes, Musha, Fantasy Star 4, Ristar, I'm not sure how to pronounce that one, Shining Force, Shinobi 3, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Streets of Rage 2, and Strider. That's your Sega Genesis games. There's some games there that's missing, but you know. Let's see here. And Nintendo plans to add more N64 games to the service in the future, including The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, F-Zero X, Mario Golf, Pokemon Snap, Kirby 64, The Crystal Shards, and Banjo-Kazooie.
I like it. There's a couple, it wasn't a classic, but like Mario Strikers. I was waiting to hear Mario Strikers on there, but
yeah,
that was like a GameCube game.
Yeah.
That wasn't a classic, so.
I was wondering why they didn't put Wave Racer in there. Like, there's a couple of games that I just remember very iconic N64 games, so. All good. I'm glad they're doing it. This is something that we talked about earlier in the past year, I think.
Gotta be because they weren't like actual Nintendo licensed games, maybe? They were just on the Nintendo console, or what?
Right. I mean, they had games you could play that were like retro games, but I think you maybe bought them individually.
Yeah.
It wasn't behind a paywall like this, though. This is like your premium content. Also, guys, you're sitting here thinking, well, it's going to be weird playing N64 games on my Switch. Haha, never fear, guys, because Nintendo is thinking ahead so they can make more money. Nintendo's cooked up some wireless controllers. It's going to be Switch-compatible Nintendo 64 and Sega Genesis controllers, which will be available to all Nintendo Switch Online members for $50 a piece. So you can now buy your own retro-compatible.
I may have missed Nintendo you saying Switch. This, but do you get those games for free by being an online member?
You have to pay the premium. So like right now, whatever that online fee is, there'll be a upcharge. So for the N64 and Sega Genesis games, you will have to pay that premium service.
Pay the extra.
That's what it sounds like. Now, let me go back and double check the article here. That's what it sounds like.
Well, that makes sense to me. I just didn't know.
Yeah, I just want to make sure they don't say that you have to officially. It says, because we looked it up. It says they'll be behind an additional paywall, meaning existing Nintendo Switch Online subscribers will have an upgrade to their plan to access these retro games. So I'm assuming, don't quote me on this, guys, but the way this article reads on Games Radar is it sounds like as long as you pay that extra premium service, you're getting all these games included as a streaming type service, right? Mm-hmm. It doesn't sound like you have to pay that, then buy Mario 64 or then buy Banjo-Kazooie or, whatever's out there on the market. So that's the way I'm reading it. Anywho.
Cool. That's exciting.
Yeah. So you saw something that you wanted to point out real quick, didn't you?
Yes. Let me pull that up real quick. Just a quick Twitter post. I don't know if you can pull up the picture.
Yeah, I can pull it up. Grab the display capture.
One of the most beautiful games that I played, and I haven't played the second one, but the first one was outstanding, was The Last of Us, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if you knew this. I think you do, Clinton, but to our listeners, if you didn't know, there is an HBO adaptation of The Last of Us, and it's full steam ahead, is what this post says. So that's coming out on HBO Max. You can watch it on HBO Max, I'm sure. And then this picture here is the first kind of glimpse we've gotten into this show.
Yeah.
And obviously these are our main characters, Ellie and
Joel.
Joel. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I went blank for a second. But man, such a good game. The second one looks awesome. I'm ready to play that. But then geeking out even more, figuring out that there's going to be a TV show. And dude, anything with zombies in it, I'm ready to give a try. Right?
Yeah.
So,
and guys, this picture's like it's the back of Joel and Ellie, so it's not like we're seeing the actors front facing. But golly, the way they did this picture, and I'm sure they did it on purpose, it looks like the graphical style, like they did like a color palette that is the game. So when I'm looking at it, it almost looks fake, but then I realize, no, this is a real live action shot of them in a scene or something.
it'd been cool, because they did actually like I don't know about Joel, but they did the character of Ellie off of an actual actress.
Yeah.
And it would have been super cool if they were able to use her, or them, because I don't know if that girl actually goes as a her anymore.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Right. I think she
was that based off her? Okay.
Yeah, her face. But
yeah, I don't know.
I think that was her that I'm talking about. I could be wrong, but
Yeah. Well, there you go, guys. Joel and Ellie. Looks like there's a plane crash up ahead on a hill.
Well, but they're looking at a plane crash. That's what it looks like. Probably thinking, should we go check that out?
But it looks cool. I love the color palette. It definitely screams Last of Us. So yeah, guys, HBO Last of Us. Come on now.
We're pumped for it. We're excited.
I still haven't got to see the Resident Evil animated series. We need to get together with Ryan. We need to sit down and stream us watching the show. Or record us watching the show, I should say.
Yeah, we could do that through Parsec, couldn't we?
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, we should do that. And is that on Netflix?
Yes, that is on Netflix.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, cool.
Yeah, we could probably technically just load up Netflix on each of our accounts and then just
start it at the same time.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1 it. Yeah. It'd probably be better quality for all of us.
Yeah, for sure.
Anywho,
bet you're right.
So that's cool. Yeah, different kind of format tonight. We're just kind of like going down the rabbit holes, just all over the place.
So funny story, real quick, before we move on from The Last of Us. My brother-in-law, one of my brother-in-laws, is a big gamer like me and us, because and so he is all about games. He's a PlayStation guy like me, and he is all about Last of Us 2. I mean, like not Last of Us 2 the game, but the series of Last of Us. He's a big fan of it.
Right.
And he's told, he's got 2 other brothers. He's just raves about it. So one of his brothers texted us in our group chat. We just have a bros group chat. He texted us the other day and said, "Hey, have you guys, any of you played Last of Us? I've heard great things about it, but I know Lee said that it was a terrible game." Just kind of like yanking his chain, And we went on this thread for like, a good minute of just like, yeah, I don't know. Lee must not play a lot of video games then, because it's a great game, and we were trying to get an uprise out of him, and he never would buy it. So I don't know if he was busy or what, but it was a good time.
That's good.
It's a great. If it's a good enough game to make a joke out of like that, it's a good game.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's hilarious, man. Well, next on the news board here, that's not a joke. Activision Blizzard sued by the U.S. Employment Commission.
Oh man,
that's right. The U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission filed a complaint against Activision Blizzard on Monday, alleging that the video game developer subjected employees to sexual harassment, pregnancy discrimination, and or related retaliation. The EEOC's complaint notes that its investigation into Activision Blizzard began in September 2018. The commission alleges in its complaint that some employees complained about the sexual harassment, and that Activision Blizzard knew or should have known about those complaints, but the company, quote, failed to take corrective and preventive measures. Once defendants knew or should have known of the sexual harassment, they failed to take prompt and effective remedial action, reasonably calculated to end the harassment, in quotes. The EEOC's lawsuit is separate from a similar complaint filed by California's Department of Fair Employment and Housing, which we talked about back in July. So this is a separate filing, guys. This is a separate lawsuit. Just so we know. So Blizzard settled. That's right. They settled on this one. It says Activision Blizzard announced that it has reached an agreement with the commission to settle the claims and to further strengthen policies and programs to prevent harassment and discrimination in the company's workplace. As part of the agreement, Activision Blizzard said it has committed to create an $18 million fund to compensate and make amends to eligible claimants. Money not used to compensate claimants will go to charities that advance women in the video game industry or promote awareness around harassment and gender equality issues, as well as company diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, as approved by the EEOC. End quote. It says here also Bobby Kotick made an official statement. This is the CEO of Blizzard, Activision Blizzard. He said in a new release last week that the company is, quote, engaging with regulators, end quote, including the EEOC, the National Labor Relations Board, and the California DFEH, with the goal of improving its workplace policies and procedures and ensuring compliance. Inside its games, it says developers on World of Warcraft and Overwatch are working to remove references to the alleged abusers, including remaining characters, including renaming characters and locations named after employees implicated in the lawsuit. So, they're taking a hit. $18 million. Not a lot of money for them.
Here's the thing. And just crap hit the fan. And when crap hit the fan, it takes a while to clean it up. It's not just one swipe, right? So they're going to be getting hit from left and right for a while. Mm-hmm. And they're going to take a while to clean this up. And for me, like, I agree with the statement of, okay, we're going to shell this money out to the people that we need to pay, that have been affected by this. But the charity stuff to me is bullcrap. Like, I get what they're trying to do, but they're doing it because they got their hand caught in the cookie jar. They weren't doing it before. Now it's like, we got the money, we're going to shell it out to these different, charities that's helping women. Well, dude, you're doing that because you got caught. You're not doing that when you get to a charity, in my opinion, it's because you care about that cause. Right. And I know what they're trying to say is, we care about this cause. You care about this cause now because you got caught. Right. So for me, it's like, okay, guys, like, you got your $18 million out for the settlements. That's great. They need that. The women that were affected or whatever need to have their settlements. But don't come out with this line of like, and then the rest were given to charity for the women trying to make their way in the gaming community. I understand it. You can do that, but don't make it like it's your saving grace, because you're doing that because you got caught. Like, it's just all there is to it. Yeah. If you didn't get caught in this, then you wouldn't be given to those charities this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, so. I don't know, mixed emotions for that.
Well, and you look at the number, $18 million, and to us regular folk, that's a lot of money, right? Holy crap, $18 million, yeah, let's take it. But then you look here, in 2020, Activision Blizzard's annual revenue amounted to $8.9 billion guys. Now, I know we don't have Ryan here defending the company, and I got to tease a little bit, but I'm just saying, $8.9 billion they made last year. 18 million. The fraction, the comparison there.
I'd like to see the percentage.
Yeah. It's not a huge hit there, guys. So I don't know. I feel like they could have gave more. They could have did more. There's things they're doing that's just not enough for me. Like going in and changing a character's name. Okay, I get that. They don't want to honor the people that were in this lawsuit and were obviously guilty, right? But I don't really think going in and removing things like, I think we talked about it, removing things like the emote, the action of spitting on a character. PvPers did it all the time. You kill a guy and then you spit on his corpse. I don't think anybody, or at least a vast majority, I don't know, I can't speak for everybody. I'm sure there's someone out there that's bothered by it. But spitting on a corpse in a game does not change the world or change the culture in a workplace. That's my opinion. Like all the changes
the only time they're using that emote in a sexual way is in a modded in a modded world who people are into it. So
yeah, or
it's
ERP,
like, you know.
So I don't know. I just, that kind of stuff bugs me a little bit because I'm like, that's not where you need to make your changes. You're not being sued because your games are just very offensive and sexually offensive and harassing, you know. You're not being sued for that. You're being sued because your workplace sucked balls. Okay? There, I said it. Which is
Right.
maybe sexually offensive to some people. But I'm just saying, you're being sued because of your workplace, not because of your games.
Right.
And they seem to be
because
like,
you made
hey,
some
we're
bad decisions in the
Yeah.
office. Yep.
yeah. So I don't know. I don't really agree with, changing your game is enough. That's not a, I could care less, honestly. I could care less what you change in your game.
Where the
Change
respect comes from me, is we fired the men who caused this. They're
Mhm.
gone.
Mm-hmm.
We're moving forward, and we're going to eat every lawsuit that comes our way because we're going to have to deal with that. You sow what you reap.
Right.
When you start getting fancy footed and trotting around to try to please, these oversensitive people, we're going to remove this from the game because it had to do with this. We're going to give to this charity, blah, blah, blah. That's when you kind of lose it for me because you're like, you're not really sincere. You're just doing this because you got your hand behind your back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
You're saving
no,
face.
we're going to keep this in the game because that's what makes WoW WoW. And and we like it. We're going to keep that there. It had nothing to do with the way these men treated these women in the office. We've already taken care of that.
Mm-hmm.
Stand your ground a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Don't snowflake out on every single thing just because you got in trouble, right? And I think when you do, it shows maybe you're more guilty at some things than others that we don't know about. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I almost feel like it's like you could have did this and then go outside of that lawsuit and say, hey, here's some extra money that we're going to put towards this thing or that thing that's not court ordered. It's kind of like that guy that, was drunk driving. Now he's got to do a bunch of community service and he's out there like, I'm doing it for the good of my heart. No, you're doing it because you got caught drinking and driving. You got to do community service. Like,
right.
It's the same concept here. It's just, anywho, yeah. Is that enough ranting by us? Are we good?
No, they get the lawsuits to get the rants too. It's part of it.
Yep, that's true.
They're gonna be clawing and fighting their way through it, but you know what? It's gonna make them a better company. I hope that's the hope is that you go through this and you learn from your mistakes and you move on. And I could go down a whole other rabbit trail that's political on this, and we're gonna move on before I do.
Okay. Well, I will say in my last words on it is you guys know how much I loved the Blizzard company or what I thought it was, and so anyway, I'm still a little salty if you can't tell. But I did play Overwatch the other day, and I was like, I made because I went back and forth. It's like, should I not play the games? Should I play the games? Because you feel kind of bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized, people are still making this game, and people still need to make a living making these games, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I look at it like I'll support those people. I'm doing it to, still support those people that do still care about those games. They're still they've dealt with all the bull crap, and here's the aftermath. But I do think Bobby Kotick and the rest of them need to have their feet held to the fire.
Yeah. For sure.
Deal.
Here's the problem. When you get into, and I'll just dip my toe in this and we move on.
Okay.
You get into cancel culture that we have today in today's society. They would say, get rid of Blizzard, get rid of Activision completely. Just get rid of them. They're bad. They did something bad. Here's the problem. That's not how it should function. I mean, they need to have their, like you said, their feet held to the fire. Something needs to be forged and made new. They need to move on and learn from their mistakes and become a better company instead of just completely being erased, know. Right. And where we get in trouble is you can't learn from history if you erase history.
Yeah.
If we continue to go down this road of let's erase everything that's offensive, how can we ever learn from it? How can our kids learn from it? You know, I know you move on from your mistakes. Obviously, I'm not saying that they need to keep a little bit of that toxic culture in their offices to learn from it. But I don't, there needs to be a reminder of this happened to us and it's never going to happen to us again.
Right. You need to make that statement. We will never forget what happened here, and we're not going to let it happen again. We'll do our damnedest to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that we're doing as a nation right now that is dangerous because we want to just forget it. Just forget it. It was a bad thing. Let's just forget it. Let's cancel it. Let's move on. Well, I'm sorry, but bad and evil history is still history. And we, got to learn from it. So anyways, like I said, I don't want to go down a bad spot there,
but I think a lot of people, I heard a lot of comedians deal with this issue of things when you get in like offensive things, what's allowed, what's not allowed, and them feeling like they're not they're like, well, you can't even do anything too crazy anymore. Like you can't just say something even because nowadays it's like, you're done, your career's over. So
yeah.
Now obviously we're not talking about you going out and groping a woman. That's completely different. That does need to be wiped off, but I get what Hunter's saying. He's saying you can't destroy something just because it had some bad in it. That makes sense. I think that happens with a lot. I mean, you see it even with your history of medicine, for instance, healthcare. We've had bad things happen in mental health. Do we need to get rid of our entire mental health workforce because it was at one point evil? Well, no, because then you'd be screwed.
Learn from it. Yep.
Yeah. So definitely.
If you don't learn from history, you're doomed to repeat it.
Yep.
I'll leave you with that.
And that is the end of our lecture.
So Activision, Blizzard, learn from your history, my mans.
Yep.
And women's, because there's women's in that company too now, right?
Mm-hmm. And for the women, stand up for your rights,
They're boss women's.
Yep. And for the ones protecting the ones that were doing the bad things, shame on you.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. So moving on from that serious discussion to something a little lighter. There's this new game that came out, Hunter. This new little MMO.
I think I saw you dabble in it.
Yeah, did you? Did you hop into the stream?
It sure did.
Yeah, the game's name is New World, and it is officially out on Steam. And by golly gee whiz, I played it last night, and I liked it. I've heard some mixed reviews on the game. Some people have been a little irritated because it had been not canceled, but delayed 3 different times. People are still a little upset that there's bugs in the game or feel like the game's not fully developed to where it could be. But I'm here to tell you, I played about an hour and a half last night, and I enjoyed it so far.
Yeah. It good. I think I would even like it just for the character creation that you were doing. I was like, hey.
Yeah, I mean,
I want to make a character.
If you could make Hunter in a game, this is the game to make Hunter in.
Yeah.
They look very Hunter-like. But anyway, I was impressed with it. It plays more like a Skyrim Elder Scrolls type game. You're able to block with your right button, and with your left button you can click the button to hit little fast sword strikes, or you can hold it to do a big charge up strike, which I liked. And then you level those weapons up. You get special skills for said weapons. Shooting is hard on that game. We got a bow and arrow at the end of the stream last night and tried taking out some fools, and it was like, it's hard.
Is it aiming with your mouse and everything?
Yeah. It's just that the characters move so quickly, because they're fighting other players, because there's a lot of other players on, so they're like sword fighting over there. I'm shooting at the skeleton and just completely miss him because he went in for a swing,
I didn't notice that. I didn't see you shoot, but when I saw you fighting, I saw other players trying to shoot people you were fighting, and it was just missing.
Yeah, with a gun.
Completely.
That one guy with the gun. But it's cool. I like it. It's fantasy meets Red Dead Redemption. That's what I feel like. That's the vibe I get from it. Or maybe like an Assassin's Creed style. It's not quite as combat smooth. Like it doesn't have that dance style to it, but I liked it. Anyway, the game has killed it. We're talking tons of players. We'll go over the stats here in just at the end of this article. But the game's done really well. So, with that said, it's been so busy that, of course, with every MMO that we see that gets popular, servers are just full to the max. So people are having crazy wait times, 3-hour wait times, 4-hour wait times just to get on the server and play. So New World will says here that yesterday, this would have been September 28th, New World developer Amazon Game Studios posted a tweet. In the statement, the developer thanked the game's dedicated community for enduring extensive server queues over the past 24 hours and says that in an effort to speed things along, they'll offer the opportunity to switch servers for free. They will offer the opportunity to switch servers free for all players at some point over the next few weeks, over the next 2 weeks. They say here that there's no indication as to when this opportunity will be going live. So, if you guys hop in, your buddies are playing on this server, but it's completely packed, you can go start a character on a lower population server and then take that free transfer once things get more stabilized within that time limit that they give you. It says here that New World has been a success for Amazon Game Studios since it launched. The new MMO has already smashed 700,000 concurrent players and has also surpassed 925,000 players over the last 24 hours.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's one of, it doesn't say it in this article, I don't think. But there was another one I was looking at that was saying it was like one of Steam's 5th biggest games ever released on Steam. So, you got that going for you. So, very promising. The game feels good, plays good so far. I had heard a lot about glitchiness and things, but I didn't really come across a lot. Every once in a while, like I would go to dash, like jump out of the way of something and it didn't register, but I'm not 100% sure it was me versus maybe internet lag or the game.
Right.
Anyway, so that's the news there on that game.
It looks good. It looks pretty. And when you first loaded into the world, it's kind of a tutorial still. You're by the shipwreck and stuff. I was like, man, that is gorgeous.
Yeah.
I was kind of put off because you couldn't really go very far. Like, you couldn't go over the rocks and stuff. But I think that was just because it was a tutorial area, right? It was just kind of showing you.
Yeah, because once I got out of that little section, then it just opened up. You just run around and get
right.
Yeah, it was much more roamy. So they do have a crafting system, so you can cook, be a lumberjack if you want. Looks like it's going to have a lot of like crafting, collect materials as you're playing. I like that. Bag space doesn't seem to be a big issue yet, so
yeah, that's the one thing I think. Like when we were playing Valheim or whatever it was, Valheim, or I think that it was missing like a and there. I know that there was merchants walking around, but I wish there was kind of more like some towns already existing, and then you could go in there and like buy and sell. And maybe there was. I just didn't ever get to that, but that's kind of what.
I don't think it's in there right now, but hey, they might end up putting something like that in there.
Yeah, I know they're working on different things. So.
Yeah. So this game, I mean, if you're looking for an MMO that's opposite of WoW or different from Final Fantasy or Elder Scrolls Online, I would say this game would be a good start. On Steam, it's $39.99 for the base game, or you can pay $50 or the $49.99 for the deluxe pack, which you get some little extras, nothing major. On the game store, everything in it is cosmetic, so it doesn't look like there's going to be any pay-to-win features in this game. Everything that I looked up seemed to be like costume stuff or emotes, like actions, which is interesting. I've not come across a game yet that does that, so that's kind of interesting.
Fortnite.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, Fortnite does.
Fortnite's all cosmetic,
and I guess probably Call of Duty does it. So I retract that statement. But anyway, the game looks good. So that's what's going on in the world of gaming right now, guys. Hunter, what you been playing? Anything?
Not much, man. I've been playing a lot. I played Spider-Man, Miles Morales, the new one, just recently. Just kind of when I'm getting a little time, when I get home from work, if Rhett's asleep or something, I kind of jump on the PlayStation, play some single player stuff. But I will say that is the first game that is kind of more of a realistic game, because Spider-Man's still cartoonish when, like, for the graphics wise, it's not super realism. But seeing the new ray tracing technology in the graphics with PS5 is just amazing, man. I noticed it right away. Like, there's a level in that already that you're walking through the skyscraper and there's water on the floor because it's snowing outside and it's coming in and melting on the ground. And so there's a reflection on the ground of the city lights coming in from the buildings. And it's the ray tracing, if you don't know what that is basically the way natural light reflects and makes the game look more real, right? Because it actually has real reflection and shadows and stuff like that of what light would look like in real life. Just crazy, man. You walk in, you see the windows from the other buildings reflecting off the floor as you move around. You can actually, like real life you would. And your character, you can see his reflection in the floor and stuff like that. So super cool. It's subtle. It's not like 2 years ago, I was thinking, man, I wish the light looked more realistic in this game. But once they do it, you're like, dude, this is crazy looking.
Yeah.
And so super cool. I'm excited for that. Made me excited for, advancements in gaming moving forward. And we've got people behind the scenes working on little things that you don't think about. And so really beautiful game. I haven't gotten too far into it, but I'm a Spider-Man fanatic. He's my favorite superhero. And so I'm excited to play through that. And then other than that, I've been playing a little bit of Star Wars. I forgot what I don't remember what it's called, Fallen Order or something. It's the newer one, right? With
the redheaded dude.
With that actor in it. It's been out for a while, but I just finally got around to playing it. So those two are kind of like the single players I've been playing on my own. Other than that, Rocket League, but I kind of fell off the bus with that with you guys too for a little while.
And we have started putting out some horror game content out on the channel. So
I enjoy that. I enjoy any little horror game, even if we play through one that's not super spooky and we get to the end and like, I still enjoy like researching and having that experience.
Do you like clowns, by the way?
I hate clowns.
Oh, perfect.
Absolutely hate them. Another thing I hate is dolls. Okay. Dolls. It's like I hate dolls. If you got dolls in a room, if you have a doll room, why? That's what I'm gonna know. Like,
what kind of cruel punishment?
What the heck is wrong with you to have a doll room? Like, it's a fake embodiment of a human sitting there with no soul in it. Like, what do you? It's very unnecessary. Okay. So if you're a listener out there, rethink your life if you have a doll room, please.
So on the clown thing, I was watching this streamer over on YouTube. He records horror video games and stuff. So I've been poaching his stuff to see what games he's playing, because he plays tons. He's been playing like really popular games that aren't so popular. And this one he found, and I thought, oh my gosh, this would be great. It's called Ronald. Okay. Yeah. And so it's a very cheap independent game, but the environment graphics are amazing. Here's the premise, guys. I think this is one of those, like, you got to go to the website or something to download it. But anyway, here's the premise of the game. You have 8 Happy Meals spread throughout the map. And you have to get all 8 before Ronald finds you and kills you.
That sounds terrifying.
Yeah. And so it's Ronald McDonald that's just super creep. Not very, like, high graphic, but just creepy enough. And he, like, stalks you. And so when he gets closer to the screen, like, glitches and messes up.
It's like Slenderman, like the old Slenderman game.
And then whenever he comes to get you, you just hear him
running
at you.
Way.
Yeah. So
they should have done the ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I'm loving it. Hey,
when he gets close to you.
And then I saw the update. I don't know if you saw it on Steam. The Steam. In Silence has a Winterland update.
Ooh. Yeah, they need to add some more maps to that thing.
Yeah, they do.
That is a good game.
It was effective.
We need to get back on there. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good premise. It needs a little bit of work just here and there,
Polish.
but
Yeah.
it's definitely a cool concept and it's a good game for sure.
And we did play Dead by Daylight, and their graphical update is phenomenal. But
great game again, but they need to freaking
hard.
They need to nerf some of those monsters, dude.
How about all? Or they need to have like a beginner mode for us noobs.
I guess it is so hard. I don't think we won one of those games. Like there was 2 games, maybe there were one of us escaped.
Yeah, but we're very out of practice.
Yeah, man, just dominating us.
Yeah, it's all good. We'll get back.
Absolute domination.
All right. Well, I think that's all we got to talk about tonight. We still we made a pretty good show out of it. So I enjoyed the show a lot tonight, guys. We hope that you did. And if you didn't, we apologize, and we'll get better next time, you know? Well, guys, go and check us out over on the YouTube. We're trying to post videos on there, do some different things with that content. You can go over to our Patreon and support us there if you want to throw some dough our way. Don't be like Blizzard. Just go ahead and open the wallet, you know?
I mean, I know he said 8 million was small, or 18, but we'll take 18 million any day. So. Oh
yeah, you blessed me with 18 million. I'll be with you forever.
It's like Trump. My dad gave me a small loan of $1 million. Wait, excuse me? Excuse me, sir?
Small loan? What?
What did you say, sir?
A small loan of 1 million would set me for life. Come on. Come on. Oh, goodness.
Huge.
Huge. All right, guys. Stay delirious.
Stay dadding.
And stay gaming. This has been a Delirious Dads production. For more information about the show, visit our website at www.deliriousdadsgaming.com. You can also find us on facebook.com/deliriousdadsgaming, twitch.tv, and YouTube. Make sure you like and share our pages to help us grow the channel. You can listen to the podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and Spotify. Please leave a rating and review if you enjoy the show. Thank you again for listening, and we hope to see you next time.